Hi everyone, and welcome back to my No Buy Year. Again, we're unmade up today. We've got the glasses on, and that means I'm probably going to be talking about a transformational moment in my journey of change and metamorphosis. In particular today, I'm talking about when I finally realized that I really can unsubscribe from all mailing and marketing emails. So for full transparency, this happened a while ago on July 23rd, 2024, and I received a marketing email. Now, before I get into this, I have seen the advice that if you don't want to shop, you should unsubscribe from all marketing emails and mailing lists and all of that. And I have kind of followed it, right? I did the thing where you're like, oh yeah, that's a good thing to do. Let me just clean my inbox of all these things I don't really need and like. But oh, I'm the exception, right? I can stick to receiving the mail from the brands that I really like and I'm interested in as a principle, as an art, not as something to buy. And I'll be able to look at these things without wanting to buy them, right? Because I'm conscious now. I can see these things and tell myself I don't need them, but I can still keep track of what these brands are up to, what they're coming out with, right? That's harmless. I'm smart enough to be able to do that. And this story isn't necessarily even about discovering that I'm not smart and that I shouldn't do that. The story is about discovering why I really don't need to do that. Even if I formerly thought that I wanted to see what this brand was going to be up to, I've realized since that I have no need for that anymore. Now, on July 23rd, I received an email from the brand Earlywood. If you've seen my video of everything I've been influenced to buy and watched the whole thing and somehow remember as much about the products as I did, which I don't expect anybody to, you'll know that I have some Earlywood kitchen utensils. I was influenced to buy these from a creator on YouTube, and I do use and enjoy them. I do think that they are more beautiful versions of regular kitchen utensils, and now that I have them, since I've already purchased them, I will continue to use and love them. I may not have needed them at the time in a strict sense where I had utensils that worked, but once again, I can't atone for the mistakes of my past by just completely getting rid of everything. It makes more sense to keep and use what I have and just learn for the future. So I received an email from this company about how they had a limited run of bacon strip wooden utensils. And what those are more beautiful versions, essentially, of their everyday wooden kitchen utensils, their spoons, their scrapers, their spatulas. Part of the reason this company appeals to me in the first place is because their utensils are so beautiful. It just is very aesthetically pleasing as well as functional. So I looked at the pictures of these bacon strip ones, and essentially it's like different marbles and grains of the wood where the colors are different and they are meeting in the same utensil, and it is quite stunningly beautiful. And to think that nature presents us with these examples of beauty is starting to become astounding to me. I'm starting to appreciate that much more. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. In the case of these utensils, I saw them and I was immediately a little bit captivated. My attention was piqued and I wanted to go check them out. And they were a limited run. And the email, in fact, said that they sell out every year and they probably will sell out very quickly. So it was already drumming up the sense of FOMO, fear of missing out, creating what could be a dangerous precipice to go stand on the edge of. But go stand on the edge I did. And I was browsing, looking at these things, and I thought, you know what? They're so beautiful. I could perhaps justify these as a Christmas gift, either for myself from somebody in my family, ask for them and have them buy them now so they don't sell out, or I could get them for my husband because he doesn't really have a Christmas wish list and we generally fulfill household needs through his gifts. And I know that's so fun, but the things that he truly wants are more in the realm of car parts for the classic car in the garage and things like that. So it's not really stuff that goes under the Christmas tree. So here I was trying to find no-buy loopholes that would enable me to buy these things, these beautiful kitchen utensils. I even made it all the way to the checkout page with some of these in my cart. But then I slowed my roll. And it wasn't even just for the no-buy, at the threat of having to report that I'd bought them. Although that was part of it, because I have had to do that before and been confronted with that feeling of, should I even continue this or should I just give up? So maybe there was a part of wanting to at least make 6 months of my year a true no-buy, that crept into the mix. But I was genuinely thinking about how I did not need more of the same that I already have. Having a more beautiful version of the things that I already have and use would just dilute my options. I would then have two things to choose from, and one of them would be sitting in my drawer unused, unless I found it a new home. And goodness knows that after doing my clothing declutter and trying to list these for resale, I don't want to declutter anything ever again. It's such a pain in the you-know-what, in the derriere, in the posterior, in the buttass, whatever you want to call it. So I have the exact same products in my kitchen drawer. They're just not as beautiful as the new ones that have been released, the limited edition ones, the special ones. And I reminded myself that the answer is no. I don't need these things. They would just add clutter in that kitchen drawer. And this led to me finally realizing, if I follow brands or get their updates sent to my inbox, it will only serve to show me a product that I did not know existed and didn't have on my things that I needed list. And seeing this flashy new thing, this more beautiful version of something I already own in this case, can only serve as a temptation to buy it. Once I know about that thing, what is the next step besides saying, oh, that's not for me, in which case I didn't even need to see it, or, oh, I kind of want that thing, in which case seeing it presented me with that option and that knowledge. And there can be cases where this is helpful and legitimate. If I were shopping for Christmas gifts, for example, for somebody that I know loves to cook and doesn't have these utensils already, it might have been interesting to know that they had a very beautiful version that somebody might appreciate. So I'm not saying there's no function to receiving this news and information. And indeed, if you actually personally know creators of brands and things, it might have some kind of personal interest to you to know what people are up to and what they're creating. But I don't have personal attachments to this brand, so therefore any brand updates will only function to serve me with something new to buy. And you might be sitting watching this thinking, yes, Captain Obvious, that's exactly why they tell you to unsubscribe to marketing emails. And to that I say, I did unsubscribe. I just kept a select few back, thinking that I was too smart to be fooled. Whenever I saw that advice as well, I would nod and say, yes, yes, good advice. And I can do it most of the way there. But I just want to keep these few because I'm interested to see what these brands might be up to, or tuck away some options for gift giving. Realistically, I don't actually give very many gifts. And in some ways, I almost suspect gift giving is a way for people to justify shopping more. I'm probably going to talk more about gift giving in general in November, December, the holiday seasons, so we'll put a pin in that one. I don't need to keep up with these brands and their latest products. They are not my friends. They are not educating me or inspiring me to do anything other than buy what they're creating. And I finally truly understand that advice of unsubscribing, of not following. So maybe if you too are holding on to any last few marketing emails from brands that you really like or appreciate or admire with that idea of just seeing what they're up to, just for interest's sake, this might be your sign to let go. If you really have a need to know what that brand is up to, Google exists. The website exists. It lives in your mind. If you have the stuff already, you interact with that brand. If I need gifts in a genuine sense, if I need to check out that brand, I could type it into my search engine. I don't need to be served the email in my inbox. I can trust my own brain to know how to solve a need if a need presents itself. I don't need the answer to a need I didn't have coming to my inbox. Boom! I will add one other point of reference because I think another reason I was keeping these brands in my back pocket is that I do believe in following artists, musicians, thought leaders, or people who share ideas. I do believe in keeping up with what those kinds of people and groups are up to, because that is really the only way to know when they've released new material. And I do also think to some degree that timing is important, or timing adds nuance. So if an artist's releasing a collection of, music or visual works at a certain time, it's oftentimes interacting with the current landscape of society, or a reflection on what they've just been through, what we've all lived through as a collective sometimes. So keeping tabs on these forms of art, I think, is something completely different than keeping tabs on an entity that serves to sell products. Even if sometimes you can buy music or art, I don't think it's entirely the same thing, because you can also consume the music and the art without paying. And payment becomes a form of support for the artist as a creator of the ephemeral art, the ideas, the statements, the experiences. So in conclusion, if hanging on to updates from brands or companies or other entities is a form of exposure to products that you may then want to buy, maybe consider cutting those out of your life, even if your reasons for keeping them on your mailing list are not related to actually buying. Because even so, you might not need to see it. You might not need to know. And with that, I've got a baby who just woke up from her nap, and I've got to go get her. Bye for now, and I will see you in the next one. Do let me know if you find this kind of video update of my real thoughts and feelings and understanding of these little bits of advice that are often surface level. Let me know if you find this helpful. Pardon. Let me know if you find this helpful, and I will continue to do these kinds of raw updates, so to speak. Bye for now.